Ugh, what the f? Oh, oh yeah. Shit on bitch. So that feels so zesty and gay. God, bro. Just scream real loud when I hit you and pretend for your friend, okay? Shama, shama, shama. Ooh, ooh. Damn! Oh my God! His legs fucking shattered. I'm fucking exhausted, man. That actually is tiring. Y'all gotta ease up on that shit. On BD. Oh damn. Shit, they don't play. Damn. He shoved me through the door. He hit me so fucking hard.
Batman Arkham Shadow has to be one of the most hyped up games for me this entire year. Right along with Black Ops 6, I've been waiting for this game to come out for so long. Arkham games have always been a failsafe for me because they're just one of my favorite franchise games on the planet Earth. I can't find a game that will entertain me. I can always go back and play these. These are all beautiful games. Arkham Knight, Arkham Asylum, Arkham Origins. Obviously, when they make a VR adaptation, I'm going to be a little critical. I have to try it, and I'm going to hold them accountable for whatever they may do wrong. This franchise has been my entire childhood, and if they screw it up, I got to play it and make sure I call them out on it. This game already got a bit of a rough start from people like me, because honestly, if you play normal traditional Arkham games, we wanted a normal traditional Arkham game. Like, you end on Arkham Knight and leave us wanting another Batman game so bad. Then you only go and make little side games that aren't actually Batman games. It feels like they've just abandoned standard Arkham games, and I don't understand why. No one wants to go buy another console to play just an Arkham game, but I happen to own a Quest 3. I just so happen to have the money laying around, even though it was marked as $40 and then now it's $50, so I guess it went up in price. You did good. You didn't do that good to mark me up, baby. But I had to give it a shot. I must say this game impressed me in so many ways, but it did disappoint me in a few. The storytelling in this is probably the best I've seen in VR in a long time. I haven't exactly played every single story game there is out there, but VR only has kind of a handful of them. It doesn't really have a big dominant market for story games because honestly, being in a VR for an extremely long time is kind of hard, especially on your average consumer. You're not really going to want to be in a VR headset long enough to get a full story out of something. But it's a nice breath of fresh air to finally get story games because honestly, the more we all get used to VR, the more we're going to want to be in it longer, and then we get a good story and actually have to think with our mind instead of just mindlessly clicking people on contractors like I do all the time. Batman is definitely on top of my list right now, right alongside with Half-Life Alyx. I haven't even completed the story yet, but I actually love how much depth it has in it. Just how far it goes with the characters and how it actually has a full story like a real Arkham game. It even acts just like the real Arkham games where you have a database you can access and you actually have all the menus are the same. You can read about the characters and their origins, or you can just run around, snap people's legs off, literally.
Ooh, damn. Oh my God!
I only got about 3 hours of playtime as of right now, and I have so much footage of this game already. You really get immersed in this game. There's only a few things that weren't really working for my immersion. First off, the crouching. Man, there's a lot of issues with the crouching if you actually like to crouch with your real knees instead of using a game button. Some things literally forced me to, like I was trying to go into a grate, and I didn't think that I would have to crouch. It just kind of glitched out and stood me straight back up, and then I was like, okay, well, do I crouch? And then it just didn't work right.
Run. Go in it.
Check the doors, right?
Thank you, goober.
I don't know whether to use the button sometimes or just to crouch with my knees because it kind of glitches out between the two, and it can get a little wonky. There was also another scene where you actually have to do a corner takedown, and you grab the corner of the wall, and it literally forced me to use the button, even though I got as low and slow as possible.
Into a stealthy position. I'm as low as can go. Let me actually walk up there, maybe. That would be fucking just magnificent if I could actually get over there. Oh.
I'd rather than polish the actual crouching and stuff like that because it being a story game, it's not like it's a shooter game where I'm try-harding and I'm like trying to jiggle peek somebody. I just want to be able to bend my knees and it go down and it work. As soon as the ground under me flies up towards my hip and I'm crouched now, it just ruins my immersion. So that's my only gripe about the crouching. I just wish they would have worked a little more towards picking one or the other, whether you actually just use the button or you're just bend your knees. The grappling gun also kind of ruins it, but not really. I can't see a feasible way they could have done it without making it extremely tedious and just ruining the flow of the game.
See, if you hold your controller in the right place, it feels immersive, but other than that, it don't. I wish I could actually have a gun and aim.
How they have it is you hit an A button and you just literally, he just sticks his hand up and shoots it for you. You don't do anything other than that. It may take away from your immersion, but it keeps you the fluidity of the game going. There's a lot of ladders in this game, and I'm glad I didn't have to climb every ladder. I could just run and hit an A button. I didn't have to grab my hip and grab it off my hip, shoot it, and then put it back. I'm glad I didn't have to worry about that. It just kept the fluidity of the game where I could just hit a button, fly up there, and I kept moving. Using the cape has to be the absolute best thing they've done. They've perfected it. It does feel a little fruity, but I gotta say,
That feels so zesty and gay. My God, bruh. We done failed as a generation. We're gonna get kids going.
I couldn't predict how they were planning on doing it, but it's better than I was even imagining in the first place. I didn't know how they were going to be able to manage that, and I didn't know how they were going to implement into the game, if they would just completely make it where it wasn't a thing and act like it never existed, or they would try and bring some weird way of doing it, but they did it perfect. I can't think of a better way they could have done these, and honestly, it actually felt so amazing. Grabbing down at my sides and pulling the cape up, it literally felt like when I was a little kid and I'd take my mom's sheets fresh out of the dryer and like jump off of a couch with it on my back with my arms out trying to fly. I mean, it really brought back something from my childhood that I just couldn't replicate. Now with the combat, I like the combat. It's very learnable. Could be better. There's a few things I would change. I feel like whenever you're fighting someone and someone else is swinging at you, sometimes I want to continue punching the dude in front of me. But sometimes if someone's coming over from the other side of you and they're trying to hit you, that little icon that pops up that's like, hey, someone's about to knock your socks off. If you try and throw a hook, sometimes it'll automatically just send you flying towards the next opponent. And sometimes I want to stay on my target. I don't know how they would even change that. It's more just iron out the glitches and be able to tell what you're doing. But again, they're just trying to use the direction of your controllers to do the right thing. And if they had it any other way, it'd probably annoy everybody because they'd be like trying to counter this guy and I can't. So, I mean, if you were fighting every dude one at a time, it would be really boring. So I'm glad they still kept it Arkham style of you're fighting a bunch of opponents at once. I do wish the combos were more consistent. I felt like every time I tried to start a combo, if I started with a left jab, sometimes it would start with a left hook, and it was like, oh my God, that's not how you throw a combo. If you've ever done any combat sport in your life, you know that is not. You don't throw the same arm 3 times. But a lot of the times it did work too, and a lot of the times having the muscle memory and having like certain combos memorized, just hitting a bag, it kind of would carry over and it'd ruin the game for me. It's more of just a me issue. It's learnable. It's just going to take a little while. It can be disorienting, and it's just simply skill issue. It's extremely fun, as difficult as it is, and honestly, I have my own combos that kind of burned into my brain, so most of the times when I use them, it actually does work. A lot of these combos are common boxing combos, like a left jab, right hook, whatever. There's a lot of combos that do work. I wish there was a little more freedom with it. I feel like if I hit a swing, I wish the game could just adjust to whatever swing I'm doing. And I know people would probably spam the right hook and ruin the game, but I don't know. I'd like the fun little mini game, but I wish there was a setting I could turn on where I could just swing for the fences and have as much fun as I wanted. Now, I will tell you, as old as I'm getting, this constant combat did me in.
I'm fucking exhausted, man. That actually is tiring. Y'all gotta ease up on that shit. On BD.
If you're a lazy person that don't like to work out, please keep that in mind before you buy this game, because this is a Batman game. You're going to be swinging for a long time. I've been sore for like 2 days from throwing hooks. Just my shoulders are just wore. It's really, 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 really exhausting. I think the story alone is worth the workout, and the combat is so much fun and engaging that it's worth it. Also, just don't swing for the fences. It's like playing on a Wii. Just barely swing your controller and it works the exact same. The people that they picked to do the voice acting was really good. I don't know who it is. I don't know their names. I don't know anything about them, but they did Batman a wonderful service. As of recently, Kevin Conroy passed away, so obviously he can't be the voice to Batman like he should be. He is and forever will be my knight. So it's like, I didn't think I would really like another Batman, but whoever this actor is, he sold his performance amazingly. I don't really care for Bruce Wayne's appearance.
Am I supposed to be Bruce Wayne? Ugh.
That's more of personal preference because I'm more off like the skinnier, more more narrow-faced Batman, like Christian Bale or Robert Pattinson, but this is more of like Ben Affleck's, where it's more square head and more like wide and beefy boy. This map is actually really lively, but it's really confusing. Sometimes it's a little goofy and I get a little angry, so it's more of my fault, but you can interact with the game a lot more than I was expecting. You actually can go off and do a lot of different stuff, like finding the little Rat King statues to break. Just like it's just like the original Arkham games of the Riddler, like going and doing the Riddler trophies. It's exactly like that, just with the Rat King things. It's a cool way to change it, but have the same kind of thing. I kind of walked around in a prison for like 15 minutes just busting inmates' chops, and honestly, it made me really mad to see that they reused the same guy like 7 times in this game. It's the same black dude every time. And I get it, you know, they were probably in a rush, but man, make another character. Don't use the same one in the same.
Damn, Rondrell, you big as shit. Wait.
Aren't you worried about Falcone? Feels like he's lost the step.
You got a twin brother in here?
Go downhill.
Neither of you could do it right?
Look around.
Y'all couldn't, not one of you could be normal and like work at Walmart? Okay, now your genes are just fucked up, buddy. Triplets. And all of you.
Falcone's
All of you just thugs.
That guy's the glue holding this place together. Keep your voice down.
Whatever you say. Alright, that's bullshit.
Well, that's really all I had to go off of as far as my issues with the game. The game's beautiful. The game's amazing. It runs amazing on the Quest 3, and if you have one, you should buy this game because it's probably at least a top 3 for me, especially that's just VR in general, not specifically standalone. This is the best standalone experience I've ever had. I'll definitely make a follow-up video about the game, and if this video does well, I'll probably end up making a whole Let's Play series of it if you guys would like to watch that. As soon as I get done uploading this video, I'm uploading a more of a funny moments video of just all the highlights from me playing this game. So if you want to see that, please click over, watch the other video. It's probably going to be released an hour within this one. So if you're watching this one, the first hour it's out, yeah, you're probably going to have to wait a little bit. But if it's a few days old, baby, come check back to the channel, please. Seriously, they did a killer job with this game, and as critical as I was trying to be, I didn't find any needles in my haystack. It's worth the $50. I know they bumped us up 10, but it's worth it. I gotta admit, it's really worth it. Don't do that again. If you announce a price, keep it at that price, though. Seriously, I love this game, and I hope you guys do too. And yeah, that's all.